Афанисовича Горбань, Елены Анатольевны Гейкина, Андрея Николаевича. Руководствуясь статьями 389, 13, 20, 28 ПК Российской Федерации, определил приговор Главинского районного суда Москвы от 18 января 2021 года в отношении Мифтахова Азата Афанисовича Горбань, Елены Анатольевны Гейкина, Андрея Николаевича изменить, исключить из осуждения Мифтахова Азата Афанисовича Горбань, Елены Анатольевны Гейкина, Андрея Николаевича применение в качестве предмета, используемого в качестве оружия, дымовой пиротехнический факел, фальшфейер. В остальном приговор оставить без изменений, апелляционный жалоб без удовлетворения. Определение может быть обжаловано во второй кассационный суд общей юрисдикции в течение 6 месяцев со дня оглашения осужденным, содержащимся под стражей, в тот же срок со дня вручения копии настоящего определения. Осужденный вправе ходатайствовать.
Закончено судебное расследование.
First of all, I want to say that Azat Miftachov's court case and its outcome caused a strong outrage in everything who knew about it. Azat received a serious sentence, 6 years, but as it obvious now, the court had not and has not any proof of his unlawful activity, and he is guilty. The only witness, unreliable at that, has disappeared. Possibly the court is aware that Azat does not share political views and evaluation of events as Russian propaganda has them. And he is not even trying to conceal this fact. It's apparent that this is quite enough for the court in order to throw him into prison. Recently, the Russian authorities and their court system in particular are more and more obvious turning into the copy of Soviet Stalinist system and are drifting further and further away from the civilized norm. The Miftachov's case is an obvious demonstration of this fact. I believe it is extremely important that Western scholars and politicians participate in campaign on behalf of the unlawfully persecuted Russian citizens. I would like to remind that quite recently all educated people in the world marked the 100th anniversary of outstanding scholars and personality Andrei Dmitrievich Sakharov. His activity was for human rights protection was obvious for obvious reason viewed as hostile by the Soviet power, and as it clear now by the current Russian power also. Andrei Dmitrievich tried to create a unified front of scholars, academics, cultural and technological elites in order to stand against the worldwide police state mentality that denigrates and persecutes people everywhere and any time when it's possible. This is why many of us are inspired by your, my friends, participation in the defense of the one who is being persecuted now.
My name is Fabien Durand and I am the president of the SMF, the French Mathematical Society. The SMF is committed to supporting the human rights of mathematicians around the world based on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Azat Miftakhov is a doctoral student at the Moscow State University. He was arrested in February 2019 in Moscow on a putative vandalism charge. He pleaded not guilty and denied the charges against him. Moreover, credible reports also indicate that Azat Miftakhov has been subjected to considerable mistreatment while incarcerated. On January the 18th of this year, Azat Miftakhov was declared guilty on the charge of hooliganism and sentencing him to 6 years in prison to be served in a general regime penal colony. SMF claims this sentence is a nonsense and is unfair. The sentence was confirmed these days in June 9th at the Moscow Appeal Court. The SMF strongly believe Azat Miftakhov is innocent and is convinced this confirmation is a huge injustice. With this video, we express our solidarity with Azat and ask its release.
Azat, I'm a mathematician. You are a mathematician. My freedom has been restricted. Your freedom is restricted. In solidarity, together, we will make you free. In solidarity, we will struggle against the tyrants of the 21st century for peace, justice, and democracy.
The criminal proceedings against me are one huge injustice. From my initial detention, in which I was tortured, to the conviction verdict based on the testimony of a secret witness and whose severity is completely unjustified. With this entire process, the state and its strongmen persecute me for my political views and for their expression. Nevertheless, I received enormous public support that I felt all the time I was imprisoned. In this last word, I would like to thank all those who contributed to this support. My special thanks go to Elena Gorban, who is also a defendant in this criminal case. Her help has been active since the very first days of my detention and remains so to this day. She organizes a collection of cash assistance for me. With this money, she orders me food, books, and delivers parcels and transfers them to me every week. Lena also regularly provides me with up-to-date news about what is happening in the world, which is very important for me. Without a doubt, her contribution to my support cannot be overestimated. Also, I would like to thank all those who transferred money for my support. Without you, there wouldn't be such good deliveries and parcels that I have received all this time. I am grateful to the mathematical communities that have demanded that my persecution be stopped. I was very pleased to be supported by world-renowned scientists. I am especially grateful to Professor of Mathematics Alexander Bufetov for the scientific correspondence with me, thanks to which my latest mathematical publications appeared. The complex math problems I get from him in this correspondence are what I especially need during my incarceration. I would like to thank everyone who supported me by sending me letters and postcards with warm words. I have received a huge number of them during the time I have been in prison. I was often told how persistent and courageous I am, but to be honest, there were moments when I became terribly sad in prison, and your letters helped me overcome this longing. I apologize for not answering most people. Please understand, there were a lot of letters, and I just didn't have time to answer anyone. But I read absolutely all the letters and postcards with great pleasure. My separate thanks go to journalist Natalia Demina, who not only covered my criminal prosecution, but also for a year and a half every week provides me with the latest issues of Trinity Variant and Interlocutor, which I read with great interest. I would also like to note the brilliant work of my attorney, Svetlana Sidorkina. Punctuality, good preparation for meetings, and excellent argumentation are all about her. In addition, she made my case public, which provided me with even more support. From Svetlana Ivanovna, I received not only legal assistance and publicity, but also moral support. In pre-COVID times, when the entrance to the pre-trial detention center was not very limited, she visited me almost every week. And we, having no news about the progress of the case at the time, just talked to each other heartily. Those conversations greatly cheered me up. Many thanks go to the numerous activists who took part in various actions and events in my support. Some of them risked their studies, their comfort, and even their freedom. Among such brave people were both anarchists and members of student movements, and people who were just not indifferent to my fate. I was glad to see that. Despite the increasing scale of repression, such people continue to protest. And of course, thank you very much to all my family and friends for their love and care, which I never stopped receiving while in prison. Their cohesion, contrary to the tragedy associated with my detention, is worthy of respect. Special thanks to my mother and my uncle for their active participation in publicizing my case. Having gotten into the millstone of justice, I faced the aggressive power of the state represented by the law enforcement agencies and the Kremlin propagandists. But at the same time, I received enormous public support, thanks to which I felt all the time that the truth was on my side, and that everything I was doing was not for nothing. And this gives me hope that Russia will be free very soon, and with it, dozens, if not hundreds, of political prisoners of our country will be free.